Am I really doing a video on herpes? I mean, uh, was the title enough to make you sick to just roll your eyes? Yeah, I really am going to talk about the revolution of herpes. I know it's so crazy. It's ridiculous. I'm uncomfortable talking about this, but now's the time to talk about this in a whole different way. Um, Yeah, I don't even know where to begin. I'm fascinated by this herpes virus, and there's many different different kinds of herpes viruses, um, and most everyone on the planet has the herpes virus in them, activated in some way, whether it's herpes simplex, 1 and 2, Epstein-Barr. Most everybody on the planet has Epstein-Barr, whether they know it or not. If you've had chickenpox, the shingles, encephalitis. Anyway, the herpes virus is old. It has been around on this planet for millions of years, particularly the herpes, what we call simplex. Yeah. Oh, and yeah, and all the herpes virus. It's been around for years, and it fascinates me that in this day and age, that we can have almost everybody on the planet affected, or at least a great number, 1 in 5, 1 in 4 people probably now infected with, let's say, herpes simplex 1 and 2. And there's no cure. Nobody talks about it because it is the most socially embarrassing stigmata thing to talk about ever. And so no one really wants to come out and say, yeah, I got the herpes virus. Very rarely, right? Because it's like so disgusting. But why has there been no healing? Like no one can figure it out, right? Well, I might have a clue. Let's just put it that way. I might have a clue. I don't even know where to begin to start this journey because it was so full. Like, how did I end up here making a video on the herpes revolution or the revolution of herpes? Who knows? And I wish it was called something else, because just saying that word herpes, like, it makes me cringe, absolutely cringe. Okay, so let me just start this story. So many synchronicities, I won't be able to share them all, but it was as if the universe led me in this direction. I do not want to be talking about this, but I have to. So, the day of the eclipse and after the eclipse, there was like this renewal of energy. Excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. Yeah, okay. This energy flowing through me. And I told several people, I was like, yeah, I just feel like this revolutionary energy. Something's got to change. I said, what I'm feeling is we've got too much stale and stagnant energy. We've got to change. Something's got to change in everybody's life right now, because we cannot deal with stale and stagnant energy anymore. And I could feel this in my being, this energy, and it hasn't stopped. And let's see. And I don't know how it happened, but I started looking, was looking at some stuff. I was like, okay, I have some stagnant and stale energies in my own life. Let's look at some things. Anyway, I started looking at, I don't know, Gene Key's profile. I don't know how it happened, but I was glancing at my Gene Keys Star Pearl, for Gene Keys people out there. Star Pearl is not out yet, and I glanced at, suddenly my attention was drawn to my stability sphere, which is Saturn. And it had on there 49.4. And I thought, oh, wow, isn't that revolution or something? Anyway, I glanced at it. I was like looking very briefly. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, 49. And I was thinking reaction. And I thought, oh, yeah, my reactions in life are probably that stagnant energy. I probably need to work on it. Not even remembering, because I don't read the gene keys, or at least the 49th gene key often. I couldn't remember what it was about. Anyway, just forgot about that. Then went to meditation. And again, 49.4. I was like, whoa, where is that coming from? And it was like pulling my attention, like saying, this is what you need to look at. Okay. I was like, okay. And then, yeah, I decided to do something else. And I was like, what else is stale and stagnant in my life? And of course, it is because I also do have Epstein-Barr virus. And when like I have my energy gets drained and my immune system is a little bit. And by the way, just a side note, excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. I'm having some drainage here. Anyway, I know that's disgusting, but this is a disgusting video, so we might as well just lay it out there. Side note, I also have histamine intolerances. I shared this in my carnivore healing journey. And did you know, little side note, that histamine intolerances can come from the Epstein-Barr virus? They are linked, although there could be other issues. But for all of us that have some of these herpes viruses in us in whatever form, they can create mast cell activation, and histamine intolerances is fascinating. Anyway, so I do have these herpes viruses in me that when I stress my system, even being on the computer, getting too much sun, exercising too strongly, it drains my immune system. And then my body starts going, oh, we're going to activate whatever these viruses, whether it's Epstein or herpes. And and I just feel nothing ever happens, like nothing ever comes to fruition, but it's like my body says, uh-oh, we're having a difficult time fighting. We're going to go into this, and you're going to get the feeling like something is going to happen. But I just get like really, really tired. And what happens is, it became acutely aware. I became acutely aware of what happens when these viruses start getting activated in me, in particular, the simplex versions of herpes. And what I feel, and I even told my friend like last week before that, I was like, yeah, when this starts activating in my body, something comes over me, and I feel like hatred towards everybody. Like I hate everyone. I hate life. I like want revenge. I want to kill. It's like it's such like a foreign energy coming from me. Not to say that I don't have my own, like, oh my God, I hate humanity or something, I hate people, everyone says that I hate people. But no, this is like a really crazy energy. And I think, where is this coming from? And I was thinking to myself, it's coming from the virus. Okay. And so meditation, the 49.4 comes up. It was in my stability. And here I am talking about revolution, stale and stagnant energy. Where is this all leading me? And I thought, you know what? This herpes virus in my own life is stale and stagnant energy. I'm going to ask the sage, what is the hexagram that is for this? And is it for me and the collective? Well, it turns out, as I was asking, the gene key that I got, not only is it for me personally, of course, but it is for the collective. And can you guess we have 64 hexagrams, gene keys, and 6 lines, 384 options. What is the hexagram and gene key that I got that is the belief or energetic thought process in the human that creates that keeps the herpes virus alive in somebody? Do you want to take a guess? Yes, of course. 49.4. What are the chances? Do you see the synchronistic. And in the 49th gene key, Richard, it's like almost right there. I can't remember where it's in, if it's in the gift or the shadow, but it talks about fear of rejection. It talks about stale and stagnant energies, the very words I was using, the very energy that this is a revolutionary energy, and that this is this gene key is, it's connected to the 55th, which is freedom. But anyway, this gene key is innately connected to the transformations that is happening on this planet and needs to happen. And he's talking about that the 49th is collective, and it needs to happen in the genetic, as a genetic mutation that would take several generations. And this is what hit me. I said, no, we can do this now. Okay, I hope I can pull this all together. Yeah, that it's now, and look, I've read other metaphysical books on why does somebody get herpes or something, and they talk about, oh, not feeling love for your family and not being seen or something like that, and not really liking your life. And I say, absolutely, that works. That may be what draws it to you, but what keeps it alive and active in you is this 49th gene key and hexagram. And it talks about that. Oh, I have to read my notes. Sorry. Because this is really, really important. Since so many people on the planet have this virus in them active, can you imagine if you resonate with this, like make this video viral, no pun intended, or pun intended, of course, if we all worked on what I'm going to share with you, that is the cause of keeping this virus alive, this virus in its active kind of naughty state, alive, we can create the genetic mutation now. Right now, we can flip a switch right now. It's so important. Okay. I'm losing my train of thought. Like if we could all work on, if we did nothing else, but we worked on this would heal so much in our collective consciousness and what is keeping us separate and what is holding. This 49th gene key connected to the herpes virus. It's all stale and stagnant energy. And it has to do with, sorry, I've got to find my notes here. Let me go back. Collectively, yes, it's for the collective as well. It's about not liking people. So it's fear of rejection. And yeah, Rich, I'm remembering now, I should have had this more organized. So this 49th shadow gene key is all about tribalism, right? It developed, we were in our own little tribes and we saw others and we became fearful, but we decided to kill them, right? So this is that killing energy that I feel every time it's activated in me. I mean, so many synchronicities. I was like, what the fuck is happening here? So tribal energy, we don't want to be around others. We fear others. We also fear, it's based on fear of rejection, right? And of course, like, if you fear being rejected of others, of course, why not attract the herpes virus? Then you don't even have to engage with others because you just isolate yourself, okay? So the energy that's kind of programmed into the herpes virus is that it makes us fearful of others, fear of being rejected, so we kind of avoid others. It also is about like not liking others. And it has many different layers, but it has a way of separating us from others. I better stay away from you. I don't want to infect you, but I don't like you. I'm embarrassed. I don't like myself. That's a big component. And it also has to deal with the energy of revenge, like, oh, I got this. I'm so angry. Or I just hate people in general, and people need to be, I want to get revenge, or I want to kill other, just whatever you're thinking about somebody, anybody else who is not like you. Okay, this is all of our racism, our separateness. We don't like others. This is very tribal energy. And we need to heal that. I mean, be motivated by healing yourself, healing this virus within you by looking at, by really taking a good look on how you feel. Number one, about yourself and life. Okay, yourself having this virus, feeling disgusting, hating yourself, hating others, fear of being rejected by others because you have this. Okay, we have to, and then just in general, looking at, most of us could say, man, I sure hate humanity these days, blah, blah, blah. We could say, oh, that group over there, that group over there, or I fear them. Okay. We have to really look at this. This is what's keeping the herpes energy alive and active in your system. If you can really heal this in yourself, become very aware of how you navigate life and others, it would start healing that in yourself. And at a collective level, if we all did this, it's like the 100th monkey, which is a funny phrase that I'm using, which I'll talk about later because it's going to connect with the primates. Can you imagine the 100th monkey effect? We can shift that mutation now instead of the next generation. This is the revolution of herpes. If we can heal our attitudes that are keeping this virus alive in us, we will be activating our own inner freedom of victimization, which is this codon ring. I can't remember the codon ring of Illuminati, I think, or the whirlwind. No, whirlwind. I can't remember. Anyway, it's 49 and 55. So this virus keeps us in victimize mode. But if we can heal how we feel about others, release this fear of rejection, just share of ourselves, we can create this genetic mutation so quickly. Our helpers at the subatomic level, the devas, the elementals, they will hear it and they will get to work immediately. This is the revolution that we need. And you don't even have to tell anybody about it because here I am. I'm putting myself out there. Now, okay, I hope that makes sense. Now, that's what I shared right there is very directly related to herpes simplex 2. Herpes simplex 1 is also part of that, but it really has, I'll just share what I got here for the collective thing. Simplex 1 is very directly related to not speaking or telling the truth, right? Because it's here. Yes, feeling the victim, not speaking your truth, not feeling heard or understood, right? And of course, this is about going against divine will, feeling the victim, not speaking your truth, not being misunderstood. So all the things about expression, but also just really heavily, it's about being the victim, feeling the victim, okay? Yeah, and if you, just a side note, if you have Epstein-Barr, that's really being stuck, meeting obstruction, gene key 39, being stuck in a rock and a hard place. You've got stuck energy. Anyway, that's not what I wanted to say. Now, now I'm going to go off into weird cuckoo land. And I was like, where did this virus come from? And I hope I can read my notes. And like I said, herpes, all versions of the herpes virus, all these viruses have been around for millions of years. In particular, herpes simplex 2 originate like millions of years and comes from the primates, okay? Not humans. Something happened. Something happened along the way where it jumped from primate to human. Now, how did that happen? Now, look, I've just done some very quick research on this, and my information about, now I'm going to go into cuckoo land, the Atlantean times and the creators of the human race, right? The Anunnaki and the beings of Atlantis did some genetic playing around, right? Because they wanted slaves. Now, I don't know all the details. That's far beyond my knowledge. And so maybe some of my answers here are not correct, but I'm getting really close. Okay. So I asked about this herpes virus. Was it a mistake of the creators, our creators who were mixing because right, they were tired of doing the work themselves, mining for gold for their planet. I think it was the Nibiruans, the people from Nibiru. I hope I'm saying that right. Nibiru, boy, that's hard to say. I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. Anyway, they were tired of doing it, and they said, "Look, we can't do this anymore." And some, I think it was Enki or somebody said, "Yeah, we'll create another being that will help slaves to do this." Hello, us, several thousand years later. Anyway, so I got a yes. It was a mistake, but also kind of an intentional mistake. Like there was some intentionality in this mix. Okay, so they, what they did was, did they mix primate DNA with human DNA? Ding, ding, ding. That's how the virus jumped. And I'm probably completely wrong, but hey, this is kind of fun. They needed a slave race, right? Primates, strong. Humans, not so. So we mixed the two, right? Herpes virus jumps to humans, okay? And what I discovered, okay, viruses are neither good or bad. They do a lot of good stuff in the environment. So how did the herpes virus kind of switch to, I guess it's shadow state or expression in the primates? Because primates did get breakouts and sores. And what I got was, like I asked, was it some kind of false belief in the primates or something? And I got a yes. And what I got was primates started feeling fear. And I thought, and I got a yes. And I thought, oh, fear of what? And then I went, oh, they became fearful of humans. Ding, ding, ding. So are you seeing the correlation to the 49? The herpes virus was in primates, not doing anything until these humans or other beings came along. They started fearing them. Obviously. Why? Because they were using them for genetic purposes or doing something. They mixed our DNA. So that fear of others, fear of humans, landed in us. Yeah. And it kind of, yeah. And it also creates an angry, I want to kill you tribal kind of energy in it because you're scaring me. I'm not sure I'm going to be accepted. You might kill me, so I better kill you first. Okay, so they did that. Mixes with us. Let me see. Is there anything else I want to share? And yeah, this was all happening. It may have happened earlier. I don't know the time frame. Definitely happened in the Atlantean era. Ding, ding, ding. However, I think the creators were aware of this fear and they did want a little fear in the humans. So I think that was the intentionality that they were aware of this virus. Anyway, I'm not sure who the beings were that did this. I didn't get that it was the Anunnaki, but it has like a mixture of the Nibiruans, maybe some Orion energy, but definitely part of an archonic thing. Anyway, some of that information may not be correct, but I found my answers were linking up with all the synchronicities of all of this. Okay, even if what I just talked about coming from primate, apes, mixtures, the creators wanted a being that would have fear of others, because right, as long as you keep us in fear of others, fear of rejection, wanting to kill each other, that group's bad, I'm afraid of that group, then you have a planet full of people that you can control, because divide and conquer. But if all of us, hell, I don't even care if you have the herpes virus or not. If all of us could work on this one thing, fear of rejection, hating others, of course, that would like transform this planet so quickly, and it would activate our freedom. We would no longer be slaves on this slave planet. Okay, I hope I've made sense. I'm sure I have. And wow, what a video. But now do you understand the revolution of herpes, or the herpes revolution? I don't know what to call it. Anyway, thanks for listening. Until next time.